Off then.
We see smoke. We see
going in.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, you might as well step in and start off, man. Shit.
Everybody need a temperature there?
2, 1, go ahead out. Yep, you good?
Going?
Yep.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we begin, I want to give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Give honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David that are scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. We out here another week to prophesy, to teach the word, to come out here and wake up the hopeful elect. All right, and you know, pretty much to just, you know, get into these scriptures, man, and break it down the correct way. Because in these latter days, you got a lot of false prophets and a lot of false teachers among us. You know, bringing in damnable heresies. You know, using these watered down doctrines to make merchandise off of Jake. And so we got to put everything in perspective, man. You know, scriptures say to try the spirit by the spirit, whether they be of the Most High, because many false prophets are going out into the world. And that means that you're going to have way more false prophets than there are real true prophets. So that comes in for you brothers and you sisters out there. You're going to have to pray for that discernment to be able to know who has the spirit and who don't. Otherwise, you'll be led by a false spirit, a seducing spirit. And there's a lot of them out there, man.
Can I throw one quick something out there?
Go ahead.
Because in these last days, you gotta remember, the internet, you can sit there for hours and search until you find what you're looking for. As this word gets more scarce and the famine of the word actually hits, it's gonna be a lot tougher for you to know. You're just gonna be happy somebody's using the name. You're just gonna be happy that they wearing fringes, and that's gonna be enough. But the doctrine could be way off somewhere.
Right.
Okay, so you gotta already lock in. Well, matter of fact, if I can get this, I had it in Timothy, 2 Timothy.
Yeah, because you don't want to. You don't want to come into this thing and you're trying to heap to yourself teachers having itching ears, and you're gauging your teachers based off of external, you know, characteristics.
And your feelings.
Your emotions. You know, you're looking at him and you like how he's presenting the word. You like how his garment look. You look at this organization that look like they got wealth, they got money. You know, they got all this plush production on their videos. But when you actually evaluate their doctrine, there's all type of holes there. You want to actually look into what they're teaching, and you want to test out their spirit based on what the scriptures say. And that's what separated churches like the Church of Berea, because they actually went into the scriptures to see if what Apostle Paul was teaching them, if it was accurate. All right? That's the type of attitude that you have when you come into this thing.
That means you gotta study, man. You gotta get off your ass. Use your brain, do research, and see if these things are true. And you, real fast. And you gotta do, this is the time now. Now is that grace period where you can make the mistakes and try it out and figure it out, because the time is coming where you're gonna have to have it. You got it.
Yeah, the elder quoted 1 John 4:1, so I'm gonna read it and go into that word try. It says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because many false prophets are going out into the world. That word try is G1381, dokumazo, and it says to test, to examine, to prove, to scrutinize, to see whether a thing is genuine or not.
And you gotta, if I may, you gotta understand, your life and salvation is on the line. So you want to take the time and care to make sure that who you're being led by is a real leader sent from the Most High. And how do you try that? How do you test that? Do what they speak. Does their doctrine go back to the scriptures? Does it line up with the understanding?
It says more. It says to discern, to approve, to recognize as genuine after examination. It says to
because remember, like the scriptures say in Hebrews, was it 4:12 for the word of the Most High is more quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. Rightly, and not only does it pierce through the soul, the bone and marrow, but also it's a discerner of the intents of the heart. So you can go into the scriptures and you can actually
see what a teacher's
examine
purpose is about
through the scriptures, certain guys, their actions, their intent. You know, and that's how we can see guys like Nate is full of shit. These other leaders of these other groups, Tazaryak. This guy, he right now, like he's starting to become just as popular as Nate.
Yep.
I'm seeing him on all these different platforms. You know, he's debating everybody, and that's how he's getting his name up.
Yep.
But we see that Yahweh Shai, he made himself of no reputation.
Yep.
So you read the scriptures about Yahweh Shai and his character, and then you evaluate these type of dudes, and they represent the leadership. Does what he's doing, does it coincide with what Yahweh Shai represented or how he walked when he was on the face of the earth?
How do you disrespect a righteous man, a prophet, saying he wasn't in the truth?
Right.
But he baptized Yahweh Shai.
Right.
And he was validated by Yahweh Shai.
Bro.
Yeah.
Well, Apostle Tahar said hits pretty heavy when you really think about it. He said, damn, how did he say it? He said, basically, damn, I lost it, my fault. But he said something big. I'm sure it'll come back in a moment. You know, there's something about that.
Yeah.
The things that a lot of these other camps be teaching, it always seems to be geared towards benefiting them in the long run. Like, okay, we might be here another so-and-so years, or the recent thing you just spoke on, the 2/3 is not going to be destroyed in America. It's always something geared towards just in case, something in the back of their mind, because they really don't got faith.
I was gonna say, you're saying like a plan B.
Yeah.
It ain't no. This is the only plan.
Yeah.
To receive salvation through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, through Yahweh Shai come and deliver His elect. There's no other way, as it says in John 10. You know, they trying to go up another way.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go through the door. You got to go through the straight gate. The straight gate is Yahweh Shai is going to lead us through that straight gate.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are trying to change the doctrine to cater to this world, to cater to niggas that's on the fence.
Yep.
You know, if you to cater to niggas that's lukewarm.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
if you on fire for this, you got to be on. If you really believe in this, you got to be on fire for it. Like the brother said, you got to teach. You have to study. You have to look into words. Go into history. This is a full-time job.
Okay.
And these guys is just, you know, they playing with this. It's like,
And while you doing that, you got to take yourself out of it.
oh yeah,
Of course.
I got this is the root word. It says dokimos, right? And it says in the ancient world there was no banking system as we know it today, and no paper money. It says all money was made from metal, heated until liquid poured into molds and allowed to cool. When the coins were cooled, it was necessary to smooth off the uneven edges. The coins were comparatively soft, and of course many people shaved them closely. It says in 1 century more than 80 laws were passed, basically to stop the practice of whittling down the coins in the circulation. But some money changers were men of integrity who would accept no counterfeit money. They were men of honor who only put genuine, full weight money into circulation.
So what is the analogy going into this truth?
Yeah.
They're not watering the doctrine down. They're not mixing it up. Because we know that they even would mix the metals with impure metals,
That's it.
trying to give it more weight.
That's it.
And that's what these other guys are doing with their doctrine. They're adding in, you can be a hip hop star, or you can have a podcast that go into worldly things, you know, but using it based upon the ministry.
they try to mix it with the ministry.
Exactly.
On the outside, it looked like the real thing.
Right.
That's like the gold-plated chain.
Yep.
Yeah. Get get 2 Corinthians 2 and 17 real quick.
You got a little more now?
Yes, a little bit more. It says, but some money changers were men of integrity who would accept no counterfeit money. They were men of honor who put only genuine full weight money into circulation. Such men were called dokimos, and this word is used here for the Christian as he is to be seen by the world.
Not to declare unto you the whole counsel.
It's
2 Corinthians 2 and 17. For we are not as many which corrupt the word of the Most High, but as of sincerity, but as of the Most High, in the sight of the Most High, speak we in Hamashiach.
Now look up that word corrupt in the Greek, because a lot of guys in these positions, they're guilty of that. They're corrupting the word of the Most High, and they're doing it on purpose. You know, but it takes discernment to be able to see that. And some of you dudes is probably getting handed portfolios with a suitcase right up underneath it with cash money in it, and it probably got listed all the doctrines that you need to teach if you want this money.
Community service to stay away from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't teach the MOTB.
Yeah.
It's a microchip.
Name
Yep.
of
Yep.
Yahweh by
Yeah.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Some dudes are starting to get away from teaching against the Edomites. Don't even talk about Esau. Dudes is tucking their tail and don't want to say nothing about Esau. Because we getting closer and they know that pressure is finna come. So dudes are starting to tuck their tail. So they want to water shit down.
They did that a while ago. It said, don't talk about Esau. It said, he used a scripture, I forgot. It says,
somebody in his congregation was
be peaceful with all men.
Yeah.
You know, even the brotherhood. I think, I forgot what verse, but it's no in the New Testament, but
Romans 12.
Yeah, he tried to use the scriptures to try to justify not talking about Esau. You know, but
it was a dude in this congregation. Yeah, it was a dude that was up under him.
That's what he always do, though.
Yeah.
We have another random guy.
Which is also another way to see, like going back to where it says, try the spirit by the spirit. If that organization continuing to change their doctrine up, they keep switching it up, they keep remixing it, they're not staying consistent on what they're teaching, that's another way to know that that's a false prophet. All right?
The spirit at that group.
Yeah. Because then, you know, on one end they'll teach that you're gonna burn in hell, but then on the flip side, Nate will come on a platform and say, no, hell is just a condition.
Yeah. You break it down the right way.
Yeah, he'll break it down right one day, but then you'll hear somebody in his organization teaching the complete opposite. You know?
No consistency.
You gotta,
you get the memo. This is the word for corrupt in 2 Corinthians 2. The Greek word is kapoluo. It says to be a retailer, to peddle, to make money by selling anything. To get sorted gain by dealing in anything, to do a thing for a base gain.
Hey, and
that's what you're doing with the word.
Exactly.
But you watering it down in order to get that pay. You know that if you give this word away the way it's supposed to, most people are gonna reject it. But if you water it down and sell it, they'll buy it.
You made me think of the interaction, and I know this is probably gonna go down at some point. The interaction with Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes in American Gangster. Nicky, why you gotta change it, man? It was perfect like it was. Why you gotta change it? It's mine. Once I got it, it's mine. That's what these guys are doing. They want to change it so it fits them. Well, you can call it black magic. Why you gotta call it still blue magic? You know? So it's the same thing. Why you still calling this the truth, knowing you done switched up and watered it down in different places? They still want to act like it's that original pure for the guy that don't know. But when they have that real pure, this truth, that unchanging doctrine, it's a clear difference. But now their palate ain't ready to handle it. You're supposed to be making their palates ready to handle the real truth. Not be adverse to it, so when they take, just reject it.
Yeah, it's like if you water down anything, if you dilute medicine, if you dilute certain drinks, it don't have the same effect. But it's like they get just enough of a taste of it to where they keep on coming back because they're not getting the real thing.
Fast food.
I got a precept. This is Proverbs 24 and 21. My son, fear thou the Lord and thy king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both?
Yeah, you don't meddle with them that are given to change, man. Because the Lord, His word doesn't change. If you change it, that means that you either taking away or adding to the scriptures. You know? So that means that you pretty much got to adulterate. And I believe that's one of the definitions. What does it mean to adulterate something? To alter it up, to water it down, to doctor it up. And a lot of dudes, they're handling the word of the Most High deceitfully. And we can see right through it. The mark of the beast is sin. Give me Job 10 and 14. Oh,
Now Marcus.
thou markest me. When I commit iniquity, thou markest me. See, that's what that's talking about, brother. No. See, a simple person that don't have discernment, they would have been like, damn, I like how he cross-referenced that.
That brother D.
Yeah, that was
that's
man.
a cut precept.
Yeah.
You know?
Them GMS guys don't know what they talking about.
Yeah.
It ain't no micro jet.
Yeah, for all you guys that took the bag, just know when the height of Jacob's trouble happened, you're the top of the list because Esau gonna know where you at.
Yep.
Yeah. That's like you want to go to work, right? But you get a W-2. Like IRS know where you at.
Yep.
You get paid under the table. You don't know. You don't know
Oh,
shit. Yeah.
Well, most of y'all got the 501c3.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So that's the main way he's gonna track you down. He could track you down for that statue.
A lot of you guys got it after the example of what happened to ICGJC with Tazadaki over there.
Yep. And you got a physical building, a school.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And all that went together. Yep.
The etymology of that word.
Go ahead.
The etymology of the word adulterate, it says to debase by mixing with foreign or inferior materials.
It goes back to that account of that money. Hey, they're basically whittling down to put what? Dross within it, man.
Yep.
You know, to put leaven onto it, which is weakening the purity of it, man. Which ultimately makes you what? Devalue it. It makes you a false prophet, man. It's that simple.
Right. Yeah, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. You know? Yep.
It is Sirach 5, and I'm gonna start here at 9. Yep. It says, "Winnow not with every wind, and go not into every way, for so doth the sinner that hath a double tongue."
What does the wind represent? Actually, y'all brothers, what does the wind represent? It says, "Go not into." Read it again.
This Sirach Ecclesiasticus 5 and 9. Winnow not with every wind, and go not into every way.
Winnow not with every wind. What does the wind represent? Doctrine. Philosophy, doctrine, teaching. Don't go into every doctrine. There's a lot of doctrines out there. And that's the reason why the apostles, they stress that brothers that are in the circle stay consistent with the teaching. You learned it from the apostles and elders, stick with that. Don't go outside of the perimeters of that. Because we all got to be consistent and we all got to speak the exact same thing.
Right.
We don't need no contradictions in our teachings.
A lot of the beginning of Apostle Paul's epistles, it started with the sentiment of speak the same thing. You know,
I desire that each of you.
Yeah. Go quote it, bro.
Yeah, he said, "I desire that each of you." That's just an example.
Yeah.
Speak the same thing. Don't change the doctrine. You know.
Yeah, I got another quick precept and go back to that. There's Ephesians 4 and 14 to answer that question as well. It says that we henceforth be no more children.
Also get Hebrews 13.
Tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness.
Hey, slight. We looked that up before. Somebody can get that word. And just like Google or Edom.
That's like the street magicians.
Exactly.
Sleight of hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. Yep. Important word.
Sleight of man is more deceiving.
Some of these men, they're well studied enough to know how to manipulate the scriptures.
Yeah.
And present it to you where you think that he's really giving you the truth. He sounds very convincing.
Yep.
You know, like with Nate, we see through his tricks, you know, like it's like through a fine glass, but it's the way he presents it that gets a lot of these jakes on the street. He brings it with a more theatrical tone. Well, you think that this dude is like, oh man, this dude sound like he sound like a man of the Lord. He sound like he
speaks with passion.
He speak with a little passion,
a little bit of controversy mixed in.
A little emotion in there.
Yep.
Raise his voice a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
See these guys,
act
all of that.
You know what?
It's like a code of personality. Same thing with Alizar.
Yep.
A lot of people was had by this dude because he was well presentable when it came to speaking or orating in front of people. Yep. But then he also, because you know he got that lingo down, knowing how to speak like street niggas talk. Yep. You know, He sound like a West Coast Cali gangbanger. He ain't even from Cali. Nigga from Washington.
Yeah.
You know? But he was able to master that and mix that with knowing how to orate and speak, you know, with public speaking.
Yep.
So a lot of people were sold on this dude. Now realizing they don't know this dude's whole character.
Yep.
And that's what's missing. Jake don't, as far as they go is, I like how he said what he just said. And I like how he looks.
Yep.
But they don't evaluate your character.
Yep.
That dude was a complete nigga.
Yep.
They like how he
Complete nigga.
presents the word. It's like,
But that's why complete niggas is who, I don't mean to cut you off.
That was who gravitated.
That's who gravitate to him, niggas.
it's like presenting something on a platter. It's a nice platter. It's presented, but a nice steak.
Yeah.
You present it, but it tastes like shit.
Yep.
That's how they come, because the shit represents their doctrine.
Right.
You know.
And they get, and Jake getting grifted by that.
Yeah.
You wonder why Jake is the main ones that are victims of these scandals and getting grifted. You know, where dudes is getting over and finessing them for money. That's because you Jakes, you're so damn simple. You're easily how could I say? Basically, you're impressionable. You're naive. You know, it's easy to impress you. You know.
Yeah, but
that's why they telling you what you want to hear and they taking your money. You know.
And that's
all these organizations that we're talking about. Why is it their main focus? Not one of their focuses is money. Is that filthy lucre? They got to push a certain type of doctrine to get that money in. We already know what Al-Azhar and Sakara was about. ISUPK. What's the UPK? ISUPK. The same thing. They push for filthy lucre. That's why the brother went into Zariac doing all these debates and showing up at all these podcasts because they get a bag. You know.
Romans 16 and 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and of offenses contrary to the doctrine which you have learned.
This is even a third different version of the word mark within the scriptures.
Yeah.
You know, we know the one he brought up, and in Job, there's another one.
The word in Job, I believe, is shamar, which basically means to observe, to watch, which is really the equivalent to the word mark in this verse. Scopeo.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And avoid them. For they
but this was said, but avoid them.
Avoid them, yeah.
See what they going off. Oh, see they going off. Let me avoid them. You got it.
For they that are such serve not the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, but their own belly.
That's and hey, going back to the word being a discerner of the intent of the heart.
Yep.
But dude is constantly doing shit, and it seems to revolve around money, like the gimmicks that they do. Debating they pay to get into them debates, or you doing it on these platforms online, but you getting super chats.
Yep.
You monetizing your content. So either way, you're doing it for money. We're not stupid. Okay. You can tell.
It's a video. It's got a commercial on it.
got 5 damn ads.
Yeah, ads.
And then if you want to see this part of it, go to my Patreon and pay this amount, and you can watch the rest.
All the what is it? All the exclusive content.
You got DLC,
is on
bro. Downloadable content.
Yeah.
Imagine if the apostles, or even Yahweh Shai, imagine if they had a Patreon.
Right.
Could you even imagine that?
Right now.
Ain't that insane to even just to imagine? The Lord ain't finna do no shit like that.
And Nathaniel was doing that way back in the day, bro.
Yeah, his
way
videos.
back in the day.
Yeah, he'll cut the video short right in the midst of the edification.
Yep.
You know, and then be like, oh, to get the rest of this, hey, go here, pay this. What the fuck, man?
They didn't learn from Jermaine Grant. That dude had a tour bus with his image and everything on it.
Yeah, the doll, bro.
See?
Yeah, his little action figure.
Yeah, action figure, bro.
These niggas feel like, we're gonna do it different than he does.
Light skin?
Yep. I got that.
Hebrews 13.
Yeah, I got a little bit of
You was done?
No, a little bit more.
Go ahead.
And by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
See? You gotta watch that, man. Even if they know how to speak very well, you still gotta pay attention to not only what they're saying, but you gotta hold them accountable based on what the scriptures are saying. You gotta know when certain men are just talking out the side of their mouth and they're not speaking thus saith the Lord. You know? See, in a Christian church, they just sit in there all day and can't wait to get out of there.
Yep.
They just sitting there and they hearing what the dude is saying on the pulpit. He ain't saying too much. He's just telling you some shit that's making you feel good for the moment.
Yep.
And then he tells you, all right, now it's time to pass the collection plate.
Yep.
And then, you know, making sure that the dude on the keyboard, the dude on the drums is on point, hitting the right notes.
They got it.
Choir.
Yeah.
The choir, everybody singing.
Yep.
Anybody that's been in the Christian church, you know,
Yeah.
that choir or that band, they be hitting
Yeah.
when they be playing, when they be passing that collection ready to play around.
Yeah.
It should last. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it should last like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Cause they got one collection and then they pass another one around. You know,
Shit is demonic. It's demonic, man.
I've been in churches where they got ATM machines in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah, and the scriptures say the simple believeth every word, man. You're not supposed to just believe whatever somebody is saying. The brother read the precept from the very beginning. You know, to try every spirit, whether they're of the Most High, man. Don't believe every spirit, because the scripture says whoever is in a lot of a teacher, they're supposed to speak as the oracles of the Most High. When you go into that word oracles, it means that as if the Most High is speaking through you, man. Okay, it has to line up with what's written, man.
And that's the thing. Nobody, the Christian church, and that's the whole blueprint, because things are just left unchecked. If it wasn't for the real prophets that are coming here, and you guys hate us because we always double checking and making sure things is right. So you mad because we're offending the people that do it, but we're doing a service unto you to make sure that you have the opportunity to hear it the right way. Now, if you choose the wrong way, that's on you. Made me think of Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. But that's on you if you choose to take the false doctrine, even though we went back and checked it and broke it down for you the right way.
Right, they get mad because they feel like we're getting in their business.
Yep.
But they don't realize that this is Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai's business.
Thank you.
It reminds me of the story. Was it in Acts where the guy was getting mad because they was messing up his money. Selling
Demetrius.
Yeah, Demetrius.
Yeah, selling the.
Yeah.
No, Alexander the
Coppersmith.
Oh, okay.
But it's the one because he was making idols for Diana.
Diana, yeah. They was getting pissed because they was messing up their money, and that's how they feel about us. Like, damn, why GMS always gotta call us out on this and say this and go into call it. You know, they just don't want to be called out.
But it's a double thing.
So like it is Demetrius.
It is Demetrius, right?
Silversmith.
And because the biggest hits they get is when Great Millstone comes in their videos though, and it corrects them when they get on. That's when it really hits the hardest. That's when they get all the views.
And see, Great Millstone, quiet as kept. That spirit of going into the layers of the scriptures and going into the root words and the Greek and the Hebrew.
Yep.
We were the main camp, starting with the apostles.
Yep.
They was the main one stressing that.
Yep.
Before all these other groups started to go into the same lane. Right. The blue letter, who made the blue letter prevalent?
Yep.
It was Great Millstone.
Yep.
Then these other groups started to want to go into the blue letter. You know? And they don't even know how to use it right. Because we have the, and the spirit is heavy. We can even tell when the blue letter goes off. You know?
Yeah, we see when they make the updates, man.
Yeah.
You know? And they change it all the time.
Yeah.
You know? But when you go back to the old videos and brothers going to the blue letter, it's like, wait up, this word is supposed to be here, man.
Like Deuteronomy 23:7.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not
or Edomite. Hey, and that's crazy because Nate and them, they still teach it that way.
Yep.
They still teach that we ain't supposed to abhor Edomite. They don't even know that that's a clerical error.
Exactly.
It's actually supposed to be Assyrian.
And it's
Which
one-
really is Aram, the Aramean people.
Instead of Adawam.
Instead of Adam, it's Aram.
So
Because the
one-
Da and the Ra, the character, they look similar.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's a little tiny slight difference.
Yeah.
But whoever's translating, they can easily make that error and think that it's talking about the Edomite.
Adam and
Aram.
yeah.
Adama and then Adawam.
But the difference is, our apostles had us writing in Aramean. So we can learn those different things. So we can read them and then translate them back into the Paleo.
Right.
You know?
And that's why they get stuck. Like, who was that said that? Was it Yawasab or Asaph? Where he was like, well, why not just read it in the English?
English is all right with me.
The English is all right with me, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I remember years ago, if I may throw this out there, years ago, the former head of Dallas, right? He asked, was it him? But it was, I think he was still in it was the guy that branched off, I believe, from IUIC.
Deacon Shakya.
Shakya. And he asked him, he was out there and he asked him, he said, do you practice Easter? That's like the English.
Right.
So do you practice that? And they were stuck.
Yeah, you read it in the KJV,
Yeah.
it's right there.
You're gonna just do what that say. So that's kind of how you can't go with surface level things.
Okay.
Can I bring out the prologue? Sure.
Oh yeah, I was thinking.
This is Ecclesiasticus 1, the prologue. All right, I'm gonna jump around, but basically I'm gonna just
Come down.
yeah.
It's like midway.
I'll read the first couple of sentences. It said the prologue of the wisdom of Jesus, but Jesus, it was Yahushua. So
it's a different Yahushua.
Yeah, different Yahushua.
The son of
It's
Sirach.
like Joshua's name is Yahushua as well. The son of Sirach, whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commended for learning and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it said, and wherefore not only the readers must needs become skillful themselves,
Yep.
but also they that desire to learn and be able to profit them which are without, both by speaking and writing. Jump down, it said, trying to find where it says,
It's a long sentence.
It said, wherein we may seem to come short, actually go up a little bit. It said, and are addicted to these things might profit, but more in living according to the law. Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them.
See?
Same depth, same understanding.
In other words, the more it gets translated, the more watered down
The telephone game.
it gets. The meaning gets watered down.
Yep.
That's why Esau right now, he can use all type of word manipulation and deceive you easily. They do it in the court system all the time. You know, that's
especially with the court system, how everything is a lot of the stuff is written in Latin.
Yep.
And in certain terms, like you get confused. That's why a lawyer can charge so much for representation, because of the wording in certain things. It's simple. They can break it down in a simple form, but you know, it's kind of like a code, you know, that these devils put it in.
It said, and not only these things, but the law itself, and the prophets, and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language.
There it is. Right. So yeah, you don't just read it for face value, just because it's written in English. It's been translated, you know, throughout various times, you know, and that's because the English language itself, it was constantly evolving, constantly changing. So that takes for you to have to continue to, translated. Which is a work in itself.
Yeah, called linguistics.
Yeah.
And it took what, 11 years to translate the Bible,
Yep.
the King James version, from the
Yep.
Greek, the Latin, and the Hebrew.
Yep.
And what, 50 something scholars
Yep.
to do it. So,
Translators, yeah.
Translators, yeah, scholars, translators to. So it's not an easy task.
Right.
But
But the internet is,
yeah.
man, it don't get easier. It is
Blue
never
Letter
gonna be
makes it
easier
very
than
easy.
this.
Like
Yeah.
the Blue Letter, it makes it very
Yeah.
easy, man. We have the tools. It's right there.
And those tools are set up for us to use them for the edification of this. That's why I'm here, I think, actually. Yeah, if I may. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15 says, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High God. A workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So you have to study and go into these things to rightly divide the word. But here's the key. You won't get the understanding unless you do it.
Yeah.
All right? But like, what else you gonna spend your time doing when your salvation is on the line? It's your salvation. People devalue how important salvation is because everything's calm and collect, and easy right now. But when all shit hits the fan, all hell breaks loose, we're gonna see how many people gonna be wishing they trimmed their lamps.
And that word for study to show thyself approved. I believe the word for study is spoudazo. It literally means to be diligent. So somebody that's constantly searching the scriptures and making sure everything is on point and accurate, and you want to make sure that you're on point when you actually teach it and speak it, and you don't want to deceive no one. That's somebody that's being diligent. And that was it. Spoudazo.
Just to hasten, to make haste, to exert oneself, to endeavor, to give diligence.
To endeavor, to give diligence.
Endeavor will go on a journey. Hey, go down a rabbit hole with that word.
Yeah.
Get all the meat off the bone, we say. Another something I was gonna say, the apostle, all the apostles do it, but the Apostle Har says it probably more often, that sometimes you can do a lesson on a prophecy, on a topic, on something, or you can just go into a word, and that'll open up so many other lanes.
Words get good words.
Exactly. You can go 40 minutes on one word. That word, any of those words, Mark, can go, with a length once you get into it, just showing the differences of them.
Cosmos,
Yep.
Oikomene,
World, the word world. Yep.
different words that you can go in.
That are important.
Yeah.
That's another one that's an important word. In some of these words, you can't get the understanding without getting the deeper, without taking that endeavor into the meaning of it, down to the root.
If you don't go deep into these words, you're gonna end up Christian. You're right. You're gonna have a Christian understanding when you don't look up, the actual meaning of these words and these scriptures and breaking it down the right way. You're gonna be straight up Christianized, man. You're gonna be believing in Easter. You're gonna believe in the hell doctrine. You're gonna believe that Mary literally did conceive actual seed from her husband Joseph. You're gonna believe all those things, man. But you gotta. That's why it's important to go into it.
To expand your vocabulary, man, because your vocabulary will be subject or restricted. Yeah. If you only going by the English, that's gonna be that's gonna be all you know. But if you go into other languages, if you go into the actual definitions of these words, it will broaden your understanding.
Like, remember years ago when we used to go back and forth with these guys over Deuteronomy 22 and 28 and 29, and we used to always tell these dudes, let's get rid of the emotions. Everybody, let's lose the emotions, and let's deal with what the text actually say. And when we would go in, we would break it down, and dudes would still keep their emotions in it.
Why y'all love this word? Why y'all love this breakdown so much? Y'all love that. That's why. You love, we don't love that. We love breaking down the scripture.
Right.
Make it say something else. It says what it says.
They used to what they'll do is when we bring out Deuteronomy 22, 28, 29, they'll say, oh, it's not talking about that. Here's the precept. And what they'll do is they'll go to Exodus, where it talks about if you entice a maid, and you know, let's just real quick, real quick, go to that real quick.
Spit game or whatever.
Yeah, that's how they used to present it, because these dudes are so damn emotional, and they don't want to piss off they female audience.
Yeah. Kind of congregation.
Yeah.
Yeah, word take, I mean, take is tafas, I believe. It means to seize, to grab.
Exodus 22:16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and he lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Now that's, if you want to say, in this scenario, he was spitting game to her. Yep. He whatever he said, it worked like a charm. She got wet inside. She got, loosened up. He got
swept her off her feet.
Swept her off her feet. You know,
all these words, you can't take them at face. So you really just sweep the knee like Johnny did Danielson. Like, no, that ain't what it's talking about. It's talking about you got to go deeper with words. But they'll keep those type of analogies in there, but don't recognize when they're in the scripture.
Yep. Basically, casting over this way.
Yep.
Into the Ponytail.
Yeah. That's what that's talking about. So now you got to go and have her sit down with her pops and be like, hey man, I couldn't help myself. Yep. She was all right with it. It happened. Yep. Here's the shekels. Yep. You're good. We finna have our we can still have the ceremony if you want. Y'all want to hook up something to eat, have everybody come over. Yep. Bam. But when you go to Deuteronomy 22, it's a complete different scenario.
Yep. Right. Yeah.
All right. There's a difference between laying hold and enticing.
Yep.
It's two different things.
Yep.
Yeah. But these dudes are so emotional, and they want we in the English. Yep. It's basically describing the same thing, brother. You're not supposed to treat the sisters like that, brother.
Like, duh. We know that. But
the Hebrew word for entice.
Go ahead.
It's a pathal. It says to seduce, entice, or persuade someone, especially through flattery, charm, or smooth talk.
Yep. There it is.
Yep. I got the Deuteronomy 22. Good. Deuteronomy 22 and 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. When you look up lay hold, it's the word tapash, which means to catch, handle, lay hold, take of, seize. Well, to lay hold of, seize, arrest, catch.